Good Saturday afternoon, everybody. I've been peeling today. As you know, summer is already gone. Fall is here. So this is a beautiful, beautiful day to do some filming for fall. I wanted to video before all the leaves blew off the tree. So what I'm going to do today is just share a little bit with you what I do at the change of season. I'm just now getting the opportunity to change from summer to fall. So what I do at my house is that I do my own wreaths and bows and all that kind of stuff. I do all of my own decorating. So what I do each year, I have a winter wreath, a spring wreath, a fall and summer wreath. So not I'm sorry, a winter and fall wreath. So what I'm in the process of doing now, and I'll take you all around to the front because I've still got my summer stuff out. So a lot of my stuff will blend and transcend. Some of it I can leave, I can mix and match. But the main theme, I always try to change it up according to the season. So that's what I'm going to be working on today. So I got on my work clothes. I'm in work mode. It's in the afternoon. I don't know where the day got to. It got away so fast. I guess I was talking to my neighbor and talking to Kareem and whatever. It's 1:20. I hadn't even had breakfast yet. So I didn't do any filming on what I cooked this morning, but I got something real simple here. I did some, remember those honey butter biscuits? Got a couple of those with some turkey bacon and a little bit of apple jelly, and I've got me some good old decaffeinated coffee. And see what my cup says? Hello, my name is Awesome. I couldn't resist purchasing it when I was in Pier 1 the other day. Also, before I forget it, if you are a coffee drinker and like the flavored coffee creamers, this is a hazelnut coffee creamer by Food Lion. 32 ounces, y'all. I think, if I'm not mistaken, either $2.69 or $3.29. This is a lot. And this is the coffee creamer. You know, these flavored creamers cost a lot of money, but this was either $2 or $3. So either way, you can't miss with this one. You don't have to use a whole lot of it. I just put a little bit in there to get that hazelnut flavor. And if I'm not mistaken, it also comes in Irish cream. So whenever I finish off that one, I'll try the Irish cream one. So like I said, hazelnut is one of my favorite flavors, and Food Line is one of my favorite places to go. And now that they've got it, I'm in, as I am with all of the Food Line brand of foods. But anyway, what I'm going to do is just share a little bit with you about my transition. So I'm going to go ahead and have my little breakfast here. I need to eat it because I haven't eaten today, so I'm going to have my breakfast here. My brunch rather, at this point. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to just show you how the leaves on the trees have changed and what I'm going to do to change my outside. So I'm going to work on the outside first while the weather is still good, and then later on I'm also going to let you all come inside and watch me decorate and transition my house from I guess from summer to fall, and from fall to winter, and from just the regular days of the year to the holiday season. Because I just get crazy with it. I start this time of the year and I run it through January. So when I get started with that, some stuff I'll even show you how to make. Some things I'll just highlight it for you. But for right now, I'm going to go ahead and have my meal, and then I'm going to come back and just show you just what it looks like and just some of the things that I've already gotten started on. So until I come back, toodaloo. Okay, y'all. I am all done eating. I'm getting ready to get started on what I'm doing. I've finished. I've even sat here and read my Smith Wigglesworth inspiration for the morning. If you all don't know Smith Wigglesworth, I'd like to recommend his readings to you. He is an awesome prophet of the Lord. He's a faith man. He lived, taught, worked, and yielded to faith all the way through. Um, the last time I think I shared with you all, he talked about getting that mustard seed. And my thing was, go get that mustard seed. When you get ready to pray, pray with a sense of faith so that God knows that that prayer is coming out of your heart, so you can get that prayer going in the right direction. One of the things that Prophet Wigglesworth said was that when you pray, you should expect for the heavens to open up, and when they don't open, then something is wrong. So that means that we don't quite have that faith where it needs to be when we get on our knees and pray. So I encourage you to pray and pray with a yielded heart and a yielded mind and spirit. That was what I was just reading this morning. Is how also when we go into prayer, if we're not yielded to the will of God, then it's not going to happen. So that's simplified, but in order to know what you need to do to make that happen, we need to get into the Word and read what the Word of God says. Or if you're not in a church, Smith Wigglesworth collection of teachings is awesome. It is a huge, huge book of teachings. Tanya gave this to my husband years ago. He loved it, and I still go back and forth and read it. He has some smaller books, of course, so check him out sometimes. He's very inspirational. Gets my faith going and gets me searching for that mustard seed. So there's some things in life that I want, and I know they're only going to come through prayer. So I want to get that prayer going in the right direction. So again, just go find that mustard seed of faith, get it going, yield to the will of God, and watch God open up the things that it's already lined up for you. You just got to have the faith and be yielded to do what you need to do to get it. Okay, so I won't go into a little sermonette here this morning. I'm going to just say continue to pray for each other and keep each other lifted up and love the Lord and honor Him always and give thanks in all things. So, okay, let's get back to this fall transition. So one thing I just want to show you right quick, and then we're going to start looking around, just to look around and see what's happening. Over here in this corner, of course, can you see my, let's see, there they are, fresh out of the ground. Excuse me. I have a friend who every year goes, and her husband rather, goes and digs sweet potatoes, and they always bring me my supply of sweet potatoes for the season. So I got my sweet potatoes. All I gotta do is get the dirt cleaned off of them. See, they still got the dirt. I just left the dirt on them. I like things original. Aren't those just beautiful? So this is what I use to make my sweet potato pies for the holiday season. Okay, so let's just look out the door here and look a little bit at how the trees have changed. And you can see my crepe myrtles. The blooms on them are long gone because it's fall. Let's see if we can get right out the back door here. I don't want to lock myself out there. Okay. Still some greenery there, but all the blooms, the pretty pink blooms, they're all gone. I'm just going to go on out the back door here, and then I'm going to go around the front. See, all the leaves are starting to change on the trees. Some are still green. Some, of course, my evergreens out there in the back, they'll stay green. These are crepe myrtles off here to the side. They're all gone. If you could look through the neighbor's yard, you see that pretty red, that tree that's turned red. Okay, I'm walking. I hope it's not moving too much. But everything has started to change. And I kind of sort of like to change with the season. So we're just going to go on around here to the front. This is where I do most of my transitioning, right here in the front. So as you can see, the pretty crepe myrtle with the real bright pink plumes, all gone. Those plumes are gone. I'm just going to set it down right here. So all of this here in this area is going to transition from my summer things. I always take the cushions off of the settees and just use the wrought iron. But I want you to see these trees here. They are gorgeous. Those are dogwood trees. But the colors have changed so beautifully. The reds, the greens, the oranges. And this poor little tree in the middle of my yard, my neighbor had a child was visiting. He beat that tree down to the grass. And I cut it down actually. But the next year it sprung back up, so it's still thriving. So after a couple of years, it's back. I'm going to see where it's going to go. It's a maple tree. Because the maple trees grow up and they have that real pretty red color to them as the fall gets on. You can see it's turning. It should be 10 times that size if the little fella had not beat it down so bad. My neighbor told me this morning, she said, Miss Howard, look, that poor little tree still striving. So I thriving rather. I said, you know what? I'm gonna leave it and see where it goes. Everybody and everything deserves a chance in life. That's the way I look at it. And all the way over here, my evergreen there is still green. And my confetti tree right on the end there, it still has some little different color flowers on it, but it's, for the most part, it's gone. You know, that tree fills up with moths. Let me see if I can see here. It gets really, really pretty when it's full of bloom. Yeah, I don't know if you can see it or not, but there are a lot of moths flying around that tree. And that tree, I probably put lights on it this year. Um, my mandavellas, they've bloomed probably they've half bloomed for the last time. They got a couple of little blooms on. This fern here, I don't know what happened to it. It just died out on me right quick. But anyway, I'm just gonna keep it moving right on around. Back up on my little front porch here. And as you can see there, I've still got my summer wreath on the door. Now that wreath is gonna come down and I'm gonna replace it with my fall wreath. And my little evergreens here in the front, I'll put for the Christmas holidays, I do a bow on that. And but for the fall, nothing, just leave them green. And right here in this here, look at that fern. For whatever reason, this fern has remained beautiful. So I'm gonna, as long as it looks that pretty, I'm gonna leave it sitting there that pretty. And it's almost November, but the weather's still warm. The other one, I don't know what happened to it. Maybe because I planted that one in the planter. But the other one, I left it in the pot, so I'm sure that's probably the difference. And the mandavellas are still got a few red blossoms on it. That one does not. So, what I'm going to do, what's going to be different here, I'm going to take my cushions off of here. And I'm just going to leave the settees like they are. All that's going to come off because, you know, eventually it's going to snow and they'll be covered with snow. And I don't want to have to bother with them through the winter. So I'm going to take the cushions off. I'm going to transform this little area here into a fall and winter scene. Now, by the 15th of November, my wreath will change again because I'm going to start my Christmas. I do my Christmas decorations right between the 15th and Thanksgiving. So I decide if I want to go full-fledged Christmas before Thanksgiving. And what I normally do is but then there are some things that I don't put out until the day after Thanksgiving, like the real gaudy Christmas stuff. I go full force with that. So you're going to be seeing a wreath change here in a little while, and I'll come back and let you see that. I'll let you see me fluff up that wreath. But for right now, I'm going to get these cushions off and get them in a bag, and I'm going to put them in the shed. They're all gone. So those are going to pretty much, the benches are going to stay there. Wrought iron, they're going to stay pretty much the same. The two little tables on the side, I'll do some Christmas things with that. Now I wanted to buy mums, but I've been watching people's mums, and those mums have died off real quickly. So I don't know if I'm going to buy mums or not, unless somebody can convince me that I can buy some now that will last through November. I might buy a couple to put on each side and one big one to put off to the side over there to replace that fern. Otherwise, that fern pot's going to be bare. And I know for a fact, unless it freezes, this one here will stay green just like that. Now, if I could look up and find me another nice green fern, I'll buy that. But we'll see. So I'm gonna sign off for a little bit. I'm gonna grab that wreath and start putting it on the door, and let you just see how things take shape and how simple it is. It doesn't take a whole lot. Okay, so hang on. Okay, y'all, get ready to take this wreath down off the door, and I'll put it up until next year. Now, next year I'll probably fluff it up some more, maybe add some color to it, but for now I'm just gonna take it off the door and replace it with my fall wreath. Ta-da! Now, as you can see, I'm going to have to do some flicking and fluffing. I've had it in my laundry room. I've got a bare space on the wall where I hang all my wreaths. So I just transition them in out there. Very easy to store. So when you have big items like this, make sure you have somewhere to put it. You're going to have to do a lot to it, but I'm going to have to fluff this out. So here's the thing. If you want to change something on here, all you got to do is fluff. You just have to play with it. Bend them out. These things are very pliable. They're very doable. I didn't quite make this all on my own. I took it to the local interior design store and I told her what I wanted. And she and I together put this together about maybe 4 or 5 years ago. So it's still okay. I don't have to work with this bow. Bows are funny because they get squished and smushed, but if you get good ribbon, you can always fluff them back out, like I'm doing with this one. I learned how to make this kind of a bow where you just loop it over, and then have the streamers. I'll show y'all how to do one of those and then how to do the full bow. But this one here is super simple. It'll probably take 20 minutes to make this if it takes that long. So what I did, I think I went with about 6 different kinds of ribbon just to bring in all these because I love the real nice rich fall colors because they show up so well and they just say Thanksgiving, fall, whatever. And you know, as long as this wreath is symmetrically together, it does not have to be perfectly symmetric. In other words, it doesn't have to be perfect because you know I like mine to look like I made it. This is one of my crafts. Even though I want it to be good, I put a few dollars in here, so I wanted it to look like the money I spent on it. But the good thing about that is that this wreath will last me as long as I will treat it well, and I can add other things to it. I might even think one day next week I might look at it and think I want some pine cones in there or whatever. So I'm just gonna work with it and little things might fall off, but we ain't worried about that. So what I'm going to continue to do here is just work with it sort of get it refluffed. And that's basically it for the wreath right now. And this other stuff you see sitting around here, of course, this one here is going back into the house, into the laundry room. So it'll sit there until next year, at the end of May when I change over. Now, this is what I love. This corner plenty. I've got this corner plenty. I have probably had this corner plenty. It's probably the biggest one, artificial one on earth. I have tried to put this on a wreath forever, but it's heavy. I'm going to do something on this front area with my horn of plenty. So when you see this horn of plenty again, it may be just down here somewhere, but I promise you I'm going to use it somewhere this year. I want to use it out here. I haven't decided where yet. I mean, I could hang it off my thing here. I don't know. Let's see. have to get it doing this way. So. Anyway, this is the way I decorate, y'all. I experiment with stuff, and if it looks right, once I can stand back out in the yard, and I'll just keep playing with it. If it doesn't work there, that will move. This is gonna be away from here because this is not going to weather the storm here. So that's gonna be taken from there. I'll put a candle on there, so we'll fix it up. So just stay tuned in, and I'll let y'all know what's going on with this decorating thing. But you better believe one thing: when it gets finished up, it's gonna be right. Okay, so toodaloo for now, and I will be back to let y'all see the other things that I'm gonna do to this front area. So remember now, when y'all see it again, it's gonna be different. I would have added some other things for the fall. Let's get a good look at it from here. And then remember what it looked like with the summer one on there. So until I come back again, I'm going to say toodaloo. Okay, y'all, I've got that wreath work. And if you can notice, I put that horn of plenty right smack dab in the middle. Worked it, tied it down, got that my bow rather is refluffed and squiggled my streamers there. And let me tell you something, when you're purchasing ribbon to make bows, please buy good ribbon. This ribbon, I have had bows that I've put on in my house for 15 years because I buy the good ribbon and it lasts longer, especially those inside ones. They last, I've got some 15, 20-year-old ones. When I get started, I'll show you. But for right now, I'm pretty much done. I think I'm going to find me a couple of nice pine cones to put off to the left there, maybe 2 or 3. But as you can see, a horn of plenty is supposed to be sort of tilted like, so it sort of leans heavy to one side, thin to the other side. So I got it laid in there. The symmetry seems to be okay. I'm pretty good with it for right now. Like I said, the only other thing I might do is stick a few pine cones in there. And if I get a wild hair and find something else that just got to go in there, I'll add to it right up until the last minute. But for now, just want to show you how you can go ahead and get started and how simple it is to take things that you've already got. Remember, I believe in leftovers. So these are my leftovers from years back. Sometimes I put them together. Sometimes I use them separate, but this is just some ideas of what you can do with stuff that you've already got. And some other things I will be buying new pieces to put in, but I've not purchased another thing on this in the last 5 years, so we're good to go. And that horn of plenty might be 20 years old, I don't know, but the wreath itself is about 5 years old, so I've had to do nothing for the past 5 years but spruce it up, fluff it, and put yourself away good and buy good quality stuff. Invest in good materials and it will last and work for you. So this time I'm going to say toodaloo. I'm done with this little project for today. Now in the weeks to come, I will be coming back and bringing you updates and highlights on different things that I'm going to be putting in this area. But for now, my door is done. Toodaloo and happy Saturday. Love you guys. Take care.